we had a tear in the family because I think the ghost of Airbud killed my cousin. Everyone else thinks it was me drunk driving. Fingers taste like salt after you touch the gym floor.
My dear Watson, I believe it's elementary that you come in the girl's mouth. Small dick not getting caught in bike tire spokes.
I was going to say, don't play with me, bitch. Don't play with me, bitch. Play with your tits. Show me your glitz. Press them against the window. This isn't Patreon. Oh, wait.
Show me your blintzes.
Show me your Blitz 2000 skills on PlayStation.
Show me your blitzing your reindeer that you will.
She gave me that Blitz.
She gave me that.
Let's just say.
She gave me the Dasher, the Dancer, the Donner, the Prancer, the Vixen, the Comet, the Cupid, the Donner, and the Blitzen.
Not the Rudolph, though.
Not the Rudolph. If you know do you recall?
She did give me Herbie the elf. Right? That was his name? He just wanted to be a dentist. Was it Herbie?
Was it Herbie?
Yeah.
Herbie Hancock?
Yeah, Herbie Hancock,
Herbie Hancock
the gay
was
elf
the
that
gay
wanted
elf
to be a dentist.
You literally took the words right out of my mouth. That was crazy.
I know.
It's like large breasts. Are we going to say that over and over again on this episode too?
I think we just hint to the main part, which is the large breast.
Just the large breast. But I feel like I'm going to have to say it at some point.
I mean, it is our slogan. Folks, if you want to know what we're talking about, go to www.patreon.com/dapperdadspodcast. That's where the other jokes live. And sometimes they're plentiful. Other times they're not. We don't really know, but we know that this one was good.
If you don't feel like paying money, go to www.thedapperdads.com. That's where all the free shit is.
Yeah, there's nothing really free except for this. And if you're listening to this, I feel like you've acquired it. I would assume.
Like you already know.
Unless you're at a stoplight and you're hearing this from another window and you're like, huh, I would like to figure out what those men are talking about.
Yeah, if you're hearing us from a car window right now, we hope you're doing well.
Could you imagine if that perfectly worked out?
Oh my God.
Pull up next to a car and you're like, that person is listening to a podcast and they're talking to me right now.
Just keeps getting, this is the whole hour and a half. It's just getting deeper and deeper and deeper like that.
Listeners, go get in your car and drive around because we're going to keep shouting into people. Make sure to bang it real loud. I know it's getting cold out, but use some fresh
bang real
air.
loud like Todd Rundgren's bang on the drum all day. Do it.
If you can play both.
If you can play the podcast and every part of the Todd Rundgren song Bang on the Drums All Day, go to dapperdadspodcast@gmail.com.
Yes.
And submit a video of you doing that because that would be sexy.
Yeah. Make sure to wear a half shirt when you do it.
Only a half shirt. That's the only way you can drum.
I watched this drummer girl who's a very good drummer first and foremost, but she's also beautiful. Mm-hmm. And sometimes her tummy's out while she's playing. I'm like, I've been too horny for this.
Yep.
And I looked her up on Instagram, and she's from a different country.
So you start spitting a little bit while she's playing the drums, and you're like,
It's another one of those things. I feel like I bring it up too much, but we know what we're doing here.
Yeah.
First and foremost, it's a different thing, but very close second is horny. This is horny.
Very
like I said,
horny,
yoga
you know
Instagram. I clicked on a picture of a girl, and then I clicked on the tag, and I clicked on her, and it was just another Instagram yoga page, and like I don't even think that one's yoga first.
It was not even yoga centric.
Horny, like
it's just horny with girls doing
crazy.
Yoga.
I mean, because there's a certain level of horny to yoga.
Yeah, I would say, is yoga inherently horny?
Yes. Mm-hmm. For male viewers,
but not female viewers.
I mean, probably. I think they can like detach from it. You know how women
female
can
participators.
Maybe. I think it's there, and for us, it's more horny. But this is like they're barely wearing anything, and it'll be like one was a close up on the crotch, and you could see the whole thing. And I'm like, this is becoming less and less about yoga, and more about me about to finish all over my phone. Call 402-7-DAPPER. You 402-732-7743.
My man came so hard he can't even remember numbers anymore.
Has that ever happened to you?
Does that ever happen to you? You ever come so hard you forget the numeric alphabet? Is that what you call sequences of numbers? The numeric alphabet? Yeah, because there's 26 numbers. 26 important ones.
This podcast is sponsored by the number 23, featuring Jim Carrey.
Was that the one?
Yeah, right? Because that's like his serious role. It's the number 23, right? That's the
number I'm like trying to think. It's the number 27. Like you're really just like it's the number 29.
We're all gonna die when we turn 27.
We're all gonna die.
I've got
Jesus died
years.
when he was 29. Jesus did not die when he was 29.
33. That's 30. That's 32 shots from twin clocks plus one. That's my favorite Nas line when he's like, Jesus died at 33. That's 32 shots from twin clocks, and then another one. And
implying,
why did you even make this?
Implying that Jesus was gunned down?
No, that he's gonna gun you down.
Jesus is gonna gun you down?
Yeah, he's coming back.
Sooner or later, God will cut you down. Is Nas's version?
AK-47.
Yeah, is Nas's version the updated God will cut you down?
Yeah, and God is
sooner
Wait, is it God or Jesus?
God will cut you down.
Jesus, and he's tiny, right?
Is Jesus? I mean, traditionally people were smaller
like
back then.
This up before. And I feel like we Googled it, and I was not happy with the answer.
What about how tall Jesus was?
Yeah, I want a little dinky Jesus.
Yeah, didn't they say he was like 5'5" or something like that?
Yeah, it's something like not that crazy.
Like I thought Jesus was like Lil Uzi Vert's height.
I thought he was like 4'6".
Jesus?
Yeah, and then he stands on his money, and he's tall as Shaquille. Jesus also has a lot of those. Uzi in like every song is like, I stand on my money, fill in the blank. You know what I mean?
I stand on my money. I'm 60 feet tall.
Yeah, well, he's like, one is stand on my money. Now I'm 9 feet. One is I'm Shaq. One is I'm the same size as Dave East. One, there's like, I feel like he just
is Dave East that big?
He's taller than Uzi. I think
everyone's taller than Uzi.
I think he's like your height or something. Who fucking cares
Dave
about
East
Dave
is 6'30".
Yeah, 6 times 30 divided by 4.
4'6".
4 foot.
Stand on my money.
Uzi. Yeah, I feel like he doesn't like
stand
write
on
down
my money.
raps.
I'm old as drama. Figure it out, kids.
He just has a notebook full of stand on my money. And he's just like all this different shit, and it's gonna eventually fall apart. There's 0 stand on my money lines on whatever the hell that project yesterday.
Stand on my money, become a new god. It's like okay,
fair enough. What else do the people do? Go to Twitter at dapperdadads.
It's like you've forgotten what humans do.
I mean,
been in the house for too long.
If anyone's forgetting what humans
I'm forgetting what humans are doing, and it's so great.
Yeah, you're gonna be.
I just get to sit here in the house by myself. People leave me alone.
It's not good.
It's so nice. I never want company again, like for an extended period of time.
All right, folks, that's the end of this episode. He's made it loud and clear. He made it very loud and clear when I got here, and he was throwing coffee cups at my head. But
get out! I don't want any visitors today.
We do what it takes to bring you this hard-hitting content.
Yeah, he had to jump on the bad part of the pelvis, and hold me down, inject me with a little bit of heroin to calm me down, to make me lucid enough for the show. But I'm here, folks. It's fine.
It was hard to jump on the pelvis also because he was standing on some money. Tall as the ceiling.
Stand on my money. I have to crink my neck at the ceiling because I'm a bit too tall.
Instagram, Dapper Dad's Podcast. Follow us for that once a week post. Folks, we're killing it. Also, this is episode 4
out of 10. Yeah, is this the 4th out of 10?
The 4th.
6 left.
I love the idea of us like fucking that up and
just keep going and going, and we're like,
that would have been a funny joke. We should have done that like a year ago.
Been like it's dying, and but then no one would have taken it seriously when we actually said it was dying.
No, but I mean, we just keep like fudging the numbers. I almost said fuck, which would have been bad. We fudge the we fug the numbers.
Fug them.
Fug the numbers.
We've got to fug them good.
Me and you, we sit down, we fug the numbers. Everything makes way more sense now. We can't do math, but we can fug the numbers.
We can fug them good.
But we fug the numbers on each episode. We say there's 10 left, this like a year ago, and we just keep jumping around. People are like, this is a funny joke. And then one day we stop. And then they're like, what? And you're like, yeah.
Yeah, we told you forever, fuckers.
And in the meantime, there's a lot of 10 out of 10. So people are like, this must be the last one.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a fucking Kiss farewell tour that I saw when I was 10.
The Rolling Stones.
Still happening.
The Rolling Stones farewell tour where they just keep going because they have to keep resurrecting Keith Richards.
Yeah. I saw a quote from him the other day that was like, one of their albums is going to be very old or something. There's a milestone of like a huge milestone. And they were like, are you excited? And he's like, we'll see if we live till then. That's a fair answer.
I mean, yeah, you eventually, I think you just get to that point.
Yeah, but I mean, he looks like dog shit for the past 25 years.
Well, yeah, I mean, you do that much heroin and fuck that many prostitutes,
but
you're going to look like shit.
It drives me crazy because I like read all these books and like, not Rolling Stones, but like that type of shit.
Like Motley Crue and stuff.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, heroin, overdose, fucking Or when you find out, I feel like we've said this before, but like how Appetite for Destruction is like one of the best selling, if not the best selling debut album of all time from a band.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a great album. It's still a great album. And like reading how, like, you're like, how did this come to fruition?
Like, how did this happen?
How did you manage to actually make anything? And then it's like one of the greatest things of all time in that regard. You know what I mean? You're like, they're literally like, I missed recording 6 days straight because I was just on a big bender, and that was the best week. We made Night Train that week, and you're like,
yeah.
What the fuck? They're like, Paradise City was a joke where Slash just said, take me down to the Paradise Titty or something. That too.
That also.
Take me down to the Paradise City where
I
the
have a
girls
moral
are
backbone.
where the girls are fat but they got nice titties. That's the whole reason that song exists.
Really?
Yeah. They were like, that's actually catchy. Let's change it to something we can use. Which I prefer the original.
Yeah, I also prefer the original. In fact, let's go ahead and cover the original with the lyrics the way the artist intended.
We get canceled and we're like, did you not read Slash's autobiography?
That was part of the whole
Slash
thing.
Featuring Slash, a forward from Slash and a backward from Slash.
Take me down to the
And
Paradise
that's a guy,
Titties.
and he looks like perfect. Slash, and I know it's because you don't see a majority of him.
Yeah.
But he looks just like older and stronger.
Yeah,
but
like
not
just a tougher version
gonna
of Slash.
Die. And
yeah.
he technically died too. Because of Nikki Sixx. It's crazy.
You hate to see it.
And I'm just never gonna like get to experience that. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be old and
that
look like
you
shit.
know of. I just reach over and just shoot you.
Oh, whoops.
Oh, whoops.
So I tripped and fell into this.
Oh man, did I get that in your bone? Bone,
Yeah,
bone.
Oh, like, have you guys tried this? And I'm just shooting heroin into my bone marrow.
Oh, Jesus. You're shooting
industrial needles.
If anyone's still listening to this, I heard this story from someone who I know listens to the show.
They used to. You mean?
Maybe if they still keep up. I think they
They'll
do.
hear it in 6
I think
years.
they do. But they knew someone who was a heroin addict back in the day, and the person, to avoid having like track marks on their arms and their toes and shit like that, would masturbate and then shoot up into their ball sack as they were coming.
This.
Yeah.
That's got to feel like
the
best thing ever, right?
I'm thinking that, like, if you're gonna do heroin, that's the way to do it.
I agree.
I mean,
because
like, yeah, you can say the kids. I mean, big disclaimer here, kids. No disclaimer, kids. Don't be kids. If you're gonna do heroin, make sure you shoot it into your ball sack.
But like, that's got to feel. You know that it has to feel good.
Like, you know it's not good, but you know it has to feel good.
No, it has to feel incredible because you're willing to stick a thing into your ball sack.
A
thing that almost every man across the board, besides like 6 dudes, would be like, I never want that to happen. And I will go far out of my way to ensure that that does not become an issue in my life.
And part of the big thing is, you know, the biggest question I had thinking about this is, was he shooting it just into the sack itself? Or was he like shooting it into a testicle? And that's the answer I never got. Because like, if you just shoot it into the sack, I feel like there's just like some heroin hanging out in the bottom of your...
And then you come in your mouth. Right?
But
right?
I don't...
Tell me I'm right, please. I need to be
I need you to tell me I'm right.
Not because I need to be right. I just need to know I could live in a world where you shoot heroin into your ball sack and then come in your mouth and you're high as...
But But that's what I'm saying. Wouldn't you have to shoot the heroin into your testicle to get it into your cum?
Testicles like kind of a free-form thing with that?
But no, I feel like they're in there, but...
I also
now, call me crazy.
Call me crazy. I think testicles live in a nut sack. I don't know. I have some science to back it up. Not enough.
I think if I feel around just right, the left one hangs a little lower than the right. The right one goes up inside sometimes.
Right one
like
is
he's
too
scared.
frequently inside of me.
Yeah, my right one is inside of me.
Fully. It's like...
No, my right one's always
in,
up in there.
Out,
Mine's
like,
always just up. Especially...
thumb it out.
Yeah, I can't be thumbing anything since this pelvis injury. It's just he just lives in there now.
Yeah,
I think when I crashed, my testicle is now. What would you have done if I ruptured a testicle in the crash? That's what would have made you respect me.
I mean, that would have been an entire episode, not basically your shattered pelvis recap, just the ruptured testicle.
Just the ruptured testicle part of it. I find that out much later because the doctor's like, "Oh, I had my thumb over this part of the X-ray, but your right testicle."
No, they just didn't have they couldn't tell you after all you've been through. They're like, we'll tell them when it's been.
We'll tell them after
You go to take a shit and you look and you just don't have balls anymore. And they're not up inside of you. And there's
No, I know I have balls.
stitches.
I know I have balls.
That's
I've
what we all
checked.
think.
I heard they replaced them with prosthetic
There's
balls.
staples.
There's just so many staples in my ball sack and my ABC.
Look like Albert Fish.
I'm like wiping and I'm pulling out staples.
There it is, folks. Episode 171. I don't even think we said that.
Wiping and pulling out staples.
God. I'm a strong
Can you
man when it comes to
imagine?
gross shit, but that
That
sucks.
is but that sucks.
That's
Like,
the one thing I was hoping not to hear this weekend.
you
Whole
specifically.
week, yeah, I had my
Like
whole weekend
You
open,
woke
too.
up
I'm not
and
saying
you were
today.
you were like writing down your agendas
No.
for the weekend. You go, yeah, all
Wipe
right.
the sleep out of my
Be
eyes.
happy. Be your best. Yeah, get the sleepy seeds out of your eyes. Be happy. Be your best. Don't hear the phrase I wipe and pull out staples. Also, I would like the people to know that I have a moral backbone that draws the line at Darius Rucker with interracial breasts.
folks. Yeah,
Folks.
I thought at first when you were
Folks.
like, and I want the people to know. I was like, is this turning into a suicide note? What a crazy suicide note. Be happy, be your best. I hope I don't hear the phrase wipe staples out of my
I
balls.
wipe and I pull
I wipe
staples
and I
out.
pull staples out.
I wipe.
They were like, wow, no wonder he killed himself.
Yeah, Christ.
That's what's
that
in the,
visual's
that's
enough
what you
to make
hear.
a man want to do it.
You see on Facebook, someone has created a GoFundMe because I'm poor and death
It's
is
me,
expensive.
and I've also made
someone
an
else-
airbrushed photo of you from heaven
Someone-
with dolphins and
No,
rainbows and
that's
big
for
angel
the
wings.
sure. Someone else creates the GoFundMe. It's a picture, which I'm always like, if I'm like missing or I die, very concerned about the picture that's going to be used. Or like, did you watch that like recent murder documentary on Amazon or on Netflix where that guy killed his wife and kids?
Oh, I couldn't bring myself to do. I'm aware of it, but I couldn't
Yeah.
bring myself to watch it.
It's pretty chill. The craziest thing.
That's just normal.
The craziest thing is, well, like the craziest part is they have footage of everything. Like the future's going to be crazy because they have like body cam footage. She constantly posted like live videos on Facebook. So you see like everything besides the murder.
Yeah.
It was lacking a couple murder videos, but besides that, I was like, wow, this is going to be crazy.
I would say because they like documented like their whole
life.
life essentially.
Yeah, and then you have like the moment of him like coming to the house when she's not there and being surprised, and like the neighbors showing footage, like because of the police body cam. Like there's so much like just pivotal footage that I feel like I've never seen in a documentary. But the craziest part is there's a lot of text that they show. So it shows them like typing the text in like the iPhone bubbles, and that's part of like the graphic.
Yeah.
It's weird because they frequently make it like the text is misspelled and then it deletes and types it right. And like both me and my girl watched it separately, and then we were like, isn't that the craziest part in this murder documentary? Is that they like falsified the way like
People
and,
were
like,
typing the text.
yeah, and it's just a very weird
Oh,
thing
see,
to
I
do.
I know what
makes
you're talking about. I
sense.
can see it, but
Yeah.
I don't know why you would do that.
Yeah, it makes sense, like obviously, but like why pick whatever words? But then
Are you implying these people couldn't spell?
or just I feel like to make it more relatable, but it's such a weird thing because yeah, it has the text going too. You could have just simply put the text bubbles or just
Right.
the text transcript.
You
or
could have
whatever.
had someone read the text. To
But
me.
the craziest shit is she is like texting her friends about how he is like not affectionate to her and how horny she is. And it's so crazy. And I wanted to tweet it, but I felt it might be viewed as insensitive at the time.
Inappropriate.
But I was like, if I die, especially if I'm murdered, please don't air all my horny texts to my friends.
Yeah, please,
on
for
a
the love of
documentary?
God. Can you
What?
imagine? Can you imagine if I got murdered, seeing the horny text
I
I've
know.
sent out?
No.
Can you imagine being interviewed about my horny texts and they like?
Yeah, they don't even interview me about
The
knowing you.
murder.
They're just like, can we read some horny text to you?
And you're like, "Please
hour.
don't."
I do a whole hour interview, real meaningful. I'm crying a lot, and then they're like, all right, can we read some horny text? I'm like, I mean, I guess so. And then it's me crying more, and that's the footage they use. I'm watching the documentary, and I'm like, God damn it, they didn't. I said nice things about him, I think.
You
They're
actually
like, no, you
say,
didn't.
they're like, no, you actually said some of the worst things we've heard
Yeah.
someone say about another human being.
That's why
before.
we had to just use an hour long footage of us reading horny text to his closest friends and family. He said some things you can't even say.
I'm thinking about some of the horny texts I've sent just in my life, and like I just can't imagine some of those up to now. Like now, recently, if we're gonna talk about some of the horny texts, like within like the last couple of years, that'd be fine. I feel like, but if we're gonna go back if we're gonna go back like 10 years, some of the horny texts I've said, there's.
That's exactly.
I'm
how
calling
I feel.
Kangaroo Court on any horny. There's got to be like
I don't know though.
statute of limitations for horny texts. Like I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
Not saying that I did anything wrong, but I'm saying like
past week.
I'm not saying I've did anything inappropriate.
No,
I'm saying that I'm saying I've just said some. I've said some
group
things
chats that we've been involved in, and some pictures of real life people that have been posted in there. And then it's one of those things when in retrospect you're like, yeah, I mean, in the past couple of years I haven't said anything out of pocket like that, and then you think about it more.
If we
I mean, I haven't texted some random girl like, I hope you like my balls and your nostrils.
I mean,
baby.
yeah, I haven't said anything like that.
It's been several years since I've said that specific thing.
Yeah, it's been a while since I was sending that out, that text out en masse with a forward.
It's been many years since I accidentally posted my ball sack on my Snapchat story.
It's true.
For moments
away from seeing the ball sack again.
Which is great. I'm glad no one saw it because that feels like I.
Oh, you think nobody saw it? I just pull it up
just
on my phone.
Just a rogue ball sack. Because my joke was to put the eggplant emoji over the balls so it would look perfect and send it to one person.
Mm-hmm.
And I accidentally hit that button and my balls. Which I mean, if I got to show the dick or balls, it's balls. But seeing someone just posted their isolated ball sack is insanity.
It's a terrifying thing to think about.
The horny text from that documentary though is even crazier because you fully learn everything about her, because she's like, I took a shower before bed, which is, we both know, is the sign that I want to have sex. Like it's that deep that detailed level of like married like have kids, everything. You're like finding out everything about her.
Mm-hmm.
And then like when they do have sex, she's like, it was so nice, he was really shagging me. I don't have it verbatim, but
fugging with 2 G's,
fugging 3
G's.
I got fugged.
You've been fugged so good. It's a 3G. It's a 3-syllable word.
I got 5G when I fug.
I get 5G when I'm fugging. You feel me?
But yeah, it's like insane.
Money so tall, I'm a 5G fugger.
Jesus Christ, that's a lot of money, I think. I'll have to look into it.
Stand on my money. Stand on my money. Stand on my money. 5G makes you sick. It's like, oh my God.
Makes sense. Stand on my money. Don't vaccinate your kids. Hell yeah, Uzi.
Stand on my money. Coronavirus is a hoax.
But yeah,
no,
so
Uzi.
None of the texts were like,
stand on my money. A vaccine lives in your body forever. Oh no.
Like she didn't text like, I want to spit on his cock.
I want his cock to hit that dangly little thing in the back of my throat. She's just texting WAP lyrics to her friends.
But she did
mac
say
and
stuff.
Cheese in the pot for this wet ass pussy.
Yeah, and I'm like, this was well before that song came.
Yeah, she
Ghostwriter.
Oh my God. Yeah, it turns out she ghostwrote. This girl ghostwrote WAP.
But
no
yeah,
pun intended.
Don't put our horny text out when we die is my main.
Yeah, because I mean, if you're gonna put out horny text, make it be the last couple of years. Well, last 2. Well,
I don't know. Yeah, I'm thinking of.
Yeah, last 2 years of horny text. Let's just stay there.
I don't agree. I'm telling you, I'm thinking of one specific thing.
I know.
And I don't.
That I said.
Oh, we all said.
Oh, in a group. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. See, I'm not thinking about.
We shouted off a balcony.
Oh, that. Oh yeah. Oh.
Not even that.
Oh.
I'm talking about that other thing.
Oh.
On the back of that wagon. A haunted hayride that they said what we said was scarier than any of the monsters.
We said it was scarier than heck.
Like they're not monsters, they're actors.
They're just people.
And all the monsters are people.
And the one guy just went Happy Halloween and tossed some
he was just
stale ass Tootsie Rolls at us. That was the scary part. Just
they're hard to begin with.
That was the scary part. Is getting a lime and orange flavored Tootsie Roll.
Don't play with me. I read the Tootsie Roll Wikipedia 3 weeks ago. No cap.
Big cap.
No.
I know there's no cap.
You know me and Wikipedias.
I know.
It's been a while since we've read one.
I got 100 Wikipedia tabs open right now, and I'm not afraid to use them.
Yeah. If you want to know about Air Bud.
Which one?
Air Buddy, the dog from Air Bud.
Which one?
The 4th one.
Okay. What about him?
He lived the longest.
Okay. It's like he was the longest living buddy. Is
Yeah, I
that
don't
what
know.
the succession of Airbuds is called? Is Air Buddies?
I hate that I'm not up to snuff.
Yeah, for a man that read the Wikipedia page, you think you'd know a bit more.
You would think so, but I don't remember one thing.
He
I
was the
learned from
longest serving Airbud, as they call it. Like you
Yeah, I
get
feel like
medals
it
and
was
shit for
something
being
like
an
that.
Airbud.
Yeah, Air Buddy.
I think it
Air
depends.
Bud's the movie franchise.
I think. Well, I think if the
Air
I
Buddy
think
is the
I think an
dog.
Air Buddy's
It's a
legacy.
Frankenstein situation.
They just keep sewing dead dogs together.
No, I meant because it's Frankenstein's monster, and everybody calls it Frankenstein.
Oh.
But yes, also they sewed a couple dead dogs together. It's not that big of a deal.
It's not even that big of a deal if you don't look at
They're
it.
getting paid extra. They're workers.
It's not even that big of a deal as long as you don't actually touch the dog while it's on the set.
Yeah. You also can't say, "Can I
You
pick
also-
you up?" It loses its fun.
Yeah, if you ask if you can pick
Why'd
the
you
dog.
write it in the script so much? I don't know. Improv. I wanna
Hey,
see
can
what
I
happens.
pick you up? Can I pick you up? Can I pick you up?
Oh,
Can I pick you up? Can I pick you up?
Airbud 6. Can I pick you up?
That made my ears start ringing. I think the demonic ghost of Airbud is trying to kill me from the inside of my brain.
Look at ya. It happened to my cousin.
Your
Not that cousin.
Your other guy. I hope it's that cousin. Your cousin was killed by the demonic ghost of Airbud.
Yeah, it's a sensitive subject for my family.
Your other
it really
co-
ruined
your-
our yearly Thanksgiving
It
viewing
ruined
of
your
Airbud
relationship.
1 through 6.
It ruined your relationship with your other cousin.
Yeah.
Because
They
he
don't
was like,
believe
if
it
you
happened.
hadn't stopped, if you could have stopped worshiping the ghost of Airbud so much, this wouldn't have happened.
We had a tear in the family because I think the ghost of Airbud killed my cousin. Everyone else thinks it was me drunk driving.
Okay.
And I mean, who's to say?
My cousin that
We
was
don't know.
outside
The
very
courts in
sober
3
at
years.
my cousin who was outside entirely sober at the time said it was me, but
Yeah.
what are you gonna do?
As she watched her brother get mowed over because I was
Twins?
coming to pick them up. And twins? That's what I said. Imagine I kill your brother, your twin brother, and I pull up,
And
roll down the window, smoke pours out cigarette smoke. I'm
And
not doing drugs and driving.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
just
certainly
drunk.
not.
And I go, and twins? And no one gets the reference. And then I peel away, and when I peel away, it scrapes his fucking face off
Holy
and sprays
shit.
it on your jeans. Your new jeans that you got from Maurice's.
The Wrangler.
Welcome to Maurice's, the store where everything seems the same if you're a man. Why are we here so long? Please. Why don't they serve beer?
Why don't they serve beer at Maurice's?
Have I brought this up to you? Because this is $1 million idea. Pen bending.
Bad bending.
Every
Twins, bad bending.
female store that your girl drags you to sell beer.
Like Victoria's Secret.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh, actually not there. Because if
Lush.
I get a couple drinks in,
Oh yeah, get a couple of drinks of me at
I'm touching
Victoria's
the
Secret.
mannequin.
Yeah,
I'm pulling open the panty drawers because there's just that's the worst store.
Did
So
I-
when your girl's like, come in then, help pick something out with me, and you're like, I like the idea of that, and then you're just turning around and there's every other type of woman buying underwear, and sometimes they look too young, and you're like, I can't look over
You're like,
there.
I shouldn't be
And
in
it's
here.
crazy, and they're holding them up, and then you're looking at them, and you're looking at the underwear, and you're like, I know so much about you now. You know what I mean?
Right,
Men should
yeah.
not be allowed in Victoria's Secret. I think
No,
that's fine.
I think we should be forced to sit on the bench outside. I don't think there's anything
look
wrong
at our
with that.
phones. And but that's what I mean. So it's not attached. It's attached, but you can't get in and out. But there's a bar. You know what I mean?
Did I ever talk about the triggering experience that happened to me in a Victoria's Secret one time?
I feel like you did because it sounds familiar, but run it back. What happened?
Run
We
it back.
said
What
several
happened?
times.
I was with my ex and a friend of ours, and
What the fuck is happening? Are there just holes in my cup? She
Yeah.
said she liked my tattoos, and she poked holes in my cup.
yeah, you like needles? And she's poking holes in your
A
cup.
good one. I'm just holding these
Tight.
empty. Oh yeah, I have something else to talk about with the Starbucks, but do tell your Victoria's Secret.
But it was me, and it was a male friend. I want to point this out. So it was me, another guy, and my girlfriend at the time. And so
Okay.
we're in there because she just wanted to like grab a couple of things, and we like just went in with her, and we were just like looking around. And he, of course, he wasn't paying attention because he's a bit younger than me. And he's looking at all the mannequins, and he walked like right into a display, like just like being stupid, you know, like
Yeah.
just tripped
Being
over
horny.
it, being horny and stupid, and looking at a man. He just oh shit,
Put a
And-
hole in that mannequin.
and the manager ran over and was like, oh my God, is everything okay? Is everything okay? And we're like, yeah, we're fine. He just,
There's panties everywhere.
yeah, well, like he like bumped into the display and knocked like a couple of things over. Like everything was fine. But we were like, yeah, sorry. We bumped, you know, I was like, I don't know what happened. He just tripped.
I don't know what happened.
And I forget what the woman said exactly, but she was like, oh, okay. It smells kind of funny over here.
Oh, yeah, you
And like
did.
walked away.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was high as shit at the time, but I was like, okay. I see how it is. And so I called corporate on her ass, and apparently I might have gotten her fired because I was
dick move.
Well, I was like just being pet because my girl was like, she doesn't talk to you like that. And I'm like, no, people talk to me like that all the time. I don't think you understand. She's like, no, nobody talks to you like that. So I ended up
like the John Mulaney joke.
It was literally like that.
I didn't know people were treating me badly until I got a girlfriend.
Until I got a wife, and she was like, hey, maybe we could try a different airline.
Yeah, you're just a little girl.
Now say I'm a little fat boy. I'm a little fat boy. Now go fetch.
Can I go home? No. Yeah, the worst thing also with Victoria's Secret is when your girl's like, let's go in, I'm going to buy leggings or the other things they sell. Because there's just nowhere to look in that store.
Right, because it's like, okay.
Panties and people holding up panties.
Because, I mean, if you're at... Call me white.
About panties and touching just
panties and they're kissing a little bit and they're rubbing soft-looking nipples on each other and you're like, oh, fuck, they're puffy.
And then your girl's like, what are you looking at? And you're like, I don't know.
And I'm like, I don't know anymore.
Have you ever had to go in and buy a gift certificate? Oh, my God. I did that one time and I was like, this is the biggest mistake.
You will not catch me.
But you have to. It's one of those things where you get in there and you're like, gift cards should be, I don't know, by the register, but just even going through as just a man.
And you're walking, and you don't want to look like walking right through, like too angry and determined because like that just sends a bad vibe. Like you're trying to like ignore what's going on around you. I can't look at anything in this Victoria's Secret.
And I think I thought that I would be able to just grab a gift certificate and be like, this much. And instead you have to like talk to somebody. But then you're like, I can't walk out of here. There's like I thought this was the worst thing was going into Victoria's Secret.
It's going through the labyrinthian maze to get to the register and then getting out.
Yeah, or just leaving without buying anything. That's like that. There should be a cop outside.
A cop that asks you at least 3 to 5 questions before he lets you keep going on your way.
Just looks like
and an immediate pat down. An immediate perusing the pussy in the panties section. Am I right?
And then if you get some, then they had the audacity to ask me if I want a bag at Victoria's Secret.
For
Have you seen the bag that you guys make?
It's like
the most unbelievable thing you'll ever see.
Like
branding is.
Branding's on notch, top notch, like good for you girls, but like
I'm not gonna
sweet
carry
Jesus,
a black and pink striped bag that's tiny, a tiny little bag,
with a handle on it and everything.
A little frilly. Why don't I just suck a guy's dick through the bag?
Have you tried?
That would be less gay. I'd have, but people are like, "Why is the bag involved? Just suck my dick." I'm like, I don't like the way you're talking to me.
I'm like,
this was a nice gesture.
And you're like, it's like the grapefruit trick, where he's a grapefruit, but it's a Victoria's Secret bag, and you're not even appreciating it. Yeah, because you're cutting my dick with this bag.
Well, talk to corporate. I hear you can call them.
I hear you can call them and get people fired.
So this guy offered to suck my dick through one of your bags.
Oh, this guy. Yeah, my buddy tried to suck my dick through one of your bags.
We weren't friends. We were.
You're just screaming in the background. We're not friends. Yeah. We're not friends.
Yes, sir. He's still
with
me. This just happened.
Friends.
I don't even know him.
I just wanted to suck his dick. I just wanted the thrill of sucking a stranger's dick in a Victoria's Secret.
Anybody.
Imagine being the guy perusing Victoria's Secret to suck a dick inside of Victoria's Secret. Yeah. That's such. Oh my God.
Oh, could you imagine being in Victoria's Secret with your girlfriend? There's one other guy, because I feel like you do that nod where you look around. You're kind of like, we both know.
We're both like, yeah, this is uncomfortable.
And sometimes you nod with someone who's like, I'm having a great time. And you're like, ew.
Some guy who nods and he's like, honey, I found the panties I want you to wear. And you're like, ew.
No, he's like, honey, I found the panties I want to wear.
Oh yeah, that's more like,
nice.
Honey, I found the panties I want to wear that you can rip in the ass and peg me with. And it's like, ooh, progressive couple.
I said you learn a lot at Victoria's Secret.
Yeah, you learn about how progressive some men really are with their girlfriends, and they really are about giving women the power. If you're getting sucked off, you're being subbed. That's all there is to it.
I mean, that's the smartest thing you've said in years.
Thank you. Even outside of my moral backbone statement.
That's not smart. That's just perfect.
Yeah.
You say one perfect thing in your life, you got it out 20 minutes ago. It's proud of you. You don't have to continue living. Again, I'm not. It keeps seeming like I'm encouraging the suicide.
I know. Like I keep feeling like you're like, wow.
Even
listen, I've started moving around, and now you're like, why don't you kill yourself now?
Yeah, I want you to get better and then do it.
Get better and then get immediately
everyone will
worse.
Be like, why did he just got better? Like he was almost done. He could walk.
He was healing.
Back to. And I'm like, he did heal. His wings were ready, but his heart wasn't.
His wings were ready,
R.I.P.
but his heart wasn't. The wings were too light and
Listen,
the heart was too heavy.
He's dead. He can't come back. I've already photoshopped him with everyone else that died this year. I'm putting it on posters and I'm selling it.
Big posters.
Yeah,
Him
big
with
posters.
Kenny Rogers and Alex Trebek and Sean Connery.
Kenny Rogers is going to die.
Kenny Rogers is dead.
He died this year?
Yeah.
No, he did.
Yes, he did.
No, he fucking did.
Yes, he fucking did.
Oh, man. This is
Kenny
crazy.
Rogers is dead. You're going to be really sad.
We did die. Fuck, he did die.
Yeah.
I didn't even look it up yet. I just remembered being with Cole and having to listen to Kenny Rogers.
Having to listen
and
to
I
the
was
gambler.
Like, I was like, can we, like, I know, but, like, I was trying to turn up, and this is, like, it was turned for
Bad.
the gambler, but now it's just kind of like, we're getting into those Kenny Rogers songs that we don't know. Yeah, March 20th.
Yeah.
The cause of coronavirus, they say. Wow. Interesting. Makes sense. You got to know when to walk away, and you got to know when to run.
You got to know when to run. You got to know when to throw them.
So I went to Starbucks to acquire some beverages
Yes.
for the fathers here. Not us. There's just a bunch of men that claim
Hang
they're
out in
dads,
the parking
but-
lot.
Yeah.
Claim to be my
The
dad.
parking lot that is right behind
I've got
the
9
camera.
men that
I
are
love the
trying to be
idea
my
that
dad.
You live in this living room, and then
There's
right
a
behind
parking
it,
lot.
there's just like where walls used to be, and a parking lot that's always full and costs
Men.
$10 a day, and you have to pay for it.
Yeah. The old men that show up, they're like, oh, thanks for covering us again. And I'm like, there's enough of you that, like, if you each chipped in, like, less than $1, if you just chipped in your pocket change, you could pay for this every day.
Yeah.
I just don't have it on me, as they all pull out those weird, of all variants of weird old man coin purses that they have. Either the pinch ones, or have you seen the ones where, like, twists around and
Have
it just
you
opens
seen
into a flat thing of coins?
Oh, yeah.
And they just start digging through it, and you're like... This isn't like the 1800s where you can just pull out a couple of bits and gander at something. Like, I'm going to need you to go ahead and pay with a dollar bill or a debit card, old man.
I can't remember where I was, but there was someone paying in primarily change
That they
recently, and I'm
pulled
like,
from a
you
Henny
can't
bag?
do this now. I know every place wants your change for some reason, but we can't.
There's not a
Can't
coin
live
shortage.
like
Banks are just lazy, and they won't take your coins without you rolling them first.
Is that true?
That's so true.
I've never had to roll coins.
When I worked at the bank, people would come in with like a big thing of change, and they're like, "I want to cash this in," and we would have to be like, "Oh, sorry, we don't do that anymore." And they'd be like, "What?" Because before I even got there, they got rid of the machine, and then so they didn't even have the coin counter machine. But what we were allowed to do was to give customers the coin rolls, and they could roll it themselves from home, and then once they had rolled it for us, we could accept it and deposit it into their account.
I would be irate if someone offered me that solution.
So many people were so pissed, and I kept trying to explain to my this is part of why I think I didn't work out there, is because everything was crazy like that, where it's like, no one's going to want to do that. And they're like, no, but see, we did research, and the company says that people...
You've told me other things that I was like, I would never.
Yeah, and then they would get on me because they would be like, so why don't you like approaching people about these things? I'm like, because I don't like getting yelled at. Because I don't like people yelling at me every day.
Yeah, the change thing, the thing we've done forever, that everyone is like, oh, take it to the bank, and
because they were like,
it's not my problem.
They were like, oh, when people come in,
roll it off.
They're like, when people come in, approach them and then see if there's a way you can help them out at the ATM instead of having them be at the line.
Yeah, when I was talking about, I remember you telling me things. That was the thing that you told me, and
like because I would tell them,
anywhere.
I'd be like, well, if someone did that to me, I'd be kind of pissed off. I'd feel like they were like pushing me off.
And then people are like, you're crazy.
Yeah, but then they're like, no, it's about how you word it to people. It's about how you approach them with it.
Hey,
it's
dumbass, you know what you're doing?
Hey, dumbass, you look like you don't know what you're doing over there with that ATM.
If someone said that to me, I'd be like, fair point. But anyway,
I'd be like, fair, but I don't know who you are to call that.
I acquired these Starbucks drinks. I got them at the one by my house because this one out here is a nightmare, and it doesn't really make sense to come to your house after going there. And so I just get them by my house, and it takes just a couple of minutes instead of 20 to 25. And then, so I'm driving, and I haven't had this conundrum. I feel like I had it one other time, but someone held the ashtray in my car. Cup holders are full of big drinks. Nowhere to put my little cup ashtray. So I just set it like against the cups, in between the cups and the shifter.
Shifter? I know what a car is.
Oh, cars work. Feels like you're shaking a cat's hand. And there's like space. It's not even a fit. It's just space. But I'm like, this seems like this will work. And as you can probably imagine, I was smoking a cigarette. I was listening to Swag Surf by Lil Wayne, aggressively loud and yelling.
Nothing wrong with that.
And then somehow it fell, and it was like a cigarette butt pinata all over the floor of my passenger seat. I didn't realize there could be that many cigarette butts in there. Only half spilled out, and the floor is covered. And I'm like,
only half?
How many does this hold? It looked like half. I couldn't really, because then
I've often wondered how many, because like whenever I'm over at your house or in your car, like we just keep shoving butts in there. I'm like, when does this? I think one time I was at like. One of the last times I was at your house to record and we were playing beer darts outside, I put one in there and it was like
pushes it back out.
Yeah, it was like at the top and I was like, wow, I don't think I've ever seen one of these like full before.
And it's not that crazy. And yeah, I empty that one a lot more. The one in my car I always forget because it's one of those things where you're like, I'm gonna empty this, and then you finally get to somewhere where you can, and you've got your hands are full or you don't think about it. You only think about it at the worst times. So I roll my window down, just let them blow out for 7 minutes.
I was gonna say, and it was just a cloud that turned into a bunch of stallions running down the road.
Horsepower, am I right?
Horsepower, am I right, baby? As it runs into another car and just decimates it, rips all the metal off the frame, tears all the flesh and organs and blood off the person. It's just a skeleton on a frame that just crashes in the middle of the road because of how many goddamn cigarette butts. Yeah, you're just driving in front. You're like, holy shit.
I gotta stop smoking if it's gonna be like that.
Holy shit!
It's like smoke another one.
10 years of cigarette ash and butts. That's what it'll do to you.
Well, that's what. Do you remember my neon? I know that you do. I don't know why I asked.
Yeah, I don't even know.
You texted me about it recently.
I did text you about it recently.
I have a picture because that had one of those like in-car ashtrays that like flips down that used to exist.
That was nice.
But like
those were the days.
It
let me
could
tell you.
not come out, so it's not nice at all. Because by the time you realize it doesn't come out, it's already put out a bunch of cigarettes in it.
And you realize that's why back in the day you'd have to go to the car wash and get that vacuum in the car.
Or
so
those
you could
little ones on the doors in like the back seat. Remember those?
Yeah.
Matt's car had it. And me and Cole would always just be like, I would fill those things up on the drive to Chicago, and then I'm always like, I don't know how you empty the cigarettes out of this. Also, Matt doesn't smoke. I don't want to bring it up if there's not a solution.
That
but I don't
sucks
want him,
more
I
than
don't want
anything.
him to one day be like,
like
these are full of and they've even started pushing their cigarettes deep down, so it's just a compact.
I swear to God, if I was like driving you guys around and I found out like a year later you were just shoving cigarettes in a piece of my car, because I know
it
me.
Doesn't matter now. That car's gone. See, everything works out.
Well, because I know me, and I'm thinking like I would be driving around. I'd be like, why does it still smell like cigarettes in this car days later? I've been driving around with the windows down in the middle of winter.
I don't want to
trying
hear
to air out
because my car reeks of weed and men.
Oh yeah,
and the men is worse.
Yeah, the men is always worse.
In my car and I'm like, how does it smell this strong in here?
Well, I want to make I want to make a point that I'm so used to how my car smells with just me in it now. You know that like
right.
I just know the smell of the car. When I was driving us around at the Dells, like when we were just going around to those couple different places.
Oh yeah,
remember? And it was you, me, and Matt. I could not get the smell out of my car for days, and I'm like, this wasn't even just the full crew.
Men, or
I'm like, yeah, just men.
It's like hard to explain.
It wasn't even weed.
Yeah, that's how mine is, and yeah, it'll.
It wasn't even weed or cigarettes. It's just like balls. I'm like, why does it smell like balls in this car?
Well, not even that. It like isn't terrible, but it's strong. Or like it'll smell like alcohol.
Oh my God, the alcohol. That's the worst sometimes. It's because
I'm in my car rubbing my balls and throwing vodka around.
Because I always don't do as we do as we say. You know, because like sometimes we'll all get into the car and we shouldn't be getting into the car, and then like the next day I'll get in and I'll be like, holy fuck, it smells like a brewery in here. I'm like, was there men just sweating all over the seats in my car?
Yeah. Which is funny because I'm always like, why is it so crazy smelling in here? And it's like, we drank for 7 hours. We went to a show, got so sweaty, got immediately in my car.
Had to wear coats.
Smoked a bunch of cigarettes.
Had to wear coats in the venue because there was no coat check.
Oh my God. We're coming up on a year of that.
Yeah.
I'll never forget.
Never forget.
I hate not being able to go to concerts, but I love the idea that never happened.
Yeah. What would
I think in retrospect,
you push the button. You never have to do it. You never have to deal with no coat check in the middle of winter ever again. But you never get to go to a concert again.
I mean, at this point, when not going to concerts, I'd wear a coat in any.
At this point, yeah, I would go to a concert in like a sauna wearing a coat if I had to.
You know how much I love my coat, right?
Yeah.
Like I hate coats. I bought this coat I think like 5 or 6 years ago at this point.
Mm-hmm.
It is the only coat I've ever had in my entire life that I actually like. I love that coat.
That's how I feel about the coat you gave me. I loved the coat.
Yeah, that was a good one too. It was just too long on me and whatever. But
fit me like a dream.
Yeah, that's why I gave it to you, because I was like, I need a big person to fill this out, and it works. But yeah, I love that coat, and like it was so terrible moshing to Finito in a coat with a beer in your pocket that I was like, I'll never be able to replace this coat if I lose it.
Right.
And at this point, with how unbearable this is, I would lose my coat. Like that's just how
awful and hot and sweaty it is.
Soaking wet inside my coat.
The worst part
on the inside of my coat, slick too.
Oh yeah, and
And I'm doing this in the cold.
For me, it's not even the sweating that's because like I'm in the heat in the moment, and I'm like I would give anything for this to end. It's the going out in the cold afterwards when you're that sweaty in the coat, and then you're like, there's literally nothing I can do about this. I'll never forget when we were leaving the Vince Staples show with JPEG. And it was me and the little man walking back to the car because you and Matt had already like booked out of there.
Yeah.
And we're walking back, and yeah, we didn't wear coats. It was like March, and it was like
It was March 16th.
I was gonna say 21st. I don't know why, but
could be wrong. Both of us could be wrong.
We could be, but but it was really cold, and we didn't wear coats into the venue. But then I got that JPEG hoodie, which I should have gotten at the end, but I got in the middle.
I told you that when you were doing it.
Yep, and I never listened because I don't know how. And so I put it on as I was leaving, and like it helped, but it was still like that whipping wind that was so cold. Yeah. And I still remember Cole like trying to get as close to me as possible so I could like block the wind. Yeah. And we were
if anyone's gonna do it, that duo makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. And so like I'm trying to like shield him from the wind, but like also not stand like in the wind like this at the same time. And I remember going across the intersection, and it was one of those wind whips you get in the city, you know, where it like comes around a building and just hits you, and it was like. And he just goes, fuck, at the top of his lungs. He's like, it is so cold.
And I heard it from city blocks away.
Yeah, I just will never. I like that. I think because I've heard him like scream out of like desperation before, but that was like the most like desperate. Yeah, that's the worst when you hear him say that.
Yeah, you can scream out of desperation, but your choice of words really.
The choice of when he's
I physically can't
do this anymore. What were we doing when he did that?
He was walking on hot sand.
That's right. Yeah, the hot sand.
It's very hot, but I don't know.
Which I'll agree with because I remember being in my flip flops and it was very hot stepping on the ground.
Yeah, it's incredibly hot, but like, what's the alternative? You know
right.
what I mean?
Yeah, like
are you gonna lay down in it and
you're
die?
gonna roll in the sand and like get all over your body.
Your feet. Run in the sand, which is an oxymoron.
Oh, I physically can't. That's right. It was the hot sand that he could. So can't take the hot sand. Can't take the cold wind. What can he take?
I don't know.
What can any of us take?
Yeah,
really?
I've done that same walk.
Was the hot sand at the same time as the floaties when we were carrying them down?
No, I think it was the first year. Because then, remember, he was just barefoot and he had to walk through those rocks.
Yeah.
And then I don't think he's done it since because he learned. Because he was like, these rocks hurt so bad. And I think he was like, well, this is the worst thing that can happen. And then he got into shockingly hot sand immediately after. And then he never did that again. Yeah. Because that's the worst shit is when you're like going from like A to B. And there's like unpleasantry in the middle. And then you're like,
more unpleasantry.
I have to do that again. You know what I mean? Like, no matter what happens, I'm going to have to recreate that. I can get painfully drunk about it in the meantime to make it better, which I think is the answer. But I'm going to have to redo that crazy shit. On my way here, I was stopped at a red light that takes too long, and I found there was a flyer, and I seen two gross people reading it. So I was like, I wonder what this flyer's about. And
it was me.
It was a picture of you. And I was like, oh, yeah, God damn it. You know that big sign in my town that we talk about at the bus stop?
Yeah. It was that one?
You? No. I was like, this makes a lot of sense.
Number one cause of rage.
Yeah. Shattered pelvis.
Shattered pelvis and an equally stacking up of bullshit life sandwich.
No, it was a lost pet flyer for birds.
Okay.
I was like, Are they lost, or did they just get back to nature? Can you catch a bird?
I've wondered about this because I want to say like 2 or 3 months ago when I was at work, a lady came in distraught with her children, just very distraught, just in damn near tears. And like, for some reason, a lot of people come to my work to make like banners for funerals and stuff. And most of the time, our equipment is not working properly. And so the funnest part of
the worst thing that's happened.
Literally,
this year.
it's the funnest part of my job being like, when someone's like, well, that's fucked up because I paid for it online and it's supposed to be done already. And I'm like, I'm really sorry. We tried calling you, but we called your number and it said your phone wasn't connected because I couldn't pay for my phone because my brother died and I didn't have to go pay. Like, yeah, it's like stuff like that. It's like you're just like, I'm not doing this to hurt you on purpose. I promise. Yeah. I'm like,
when I
just
worked at the
can't
call
do
center, people would call to deactivate their dead family member's phone, and we required a death certificate. And as you can imagine, a lot of people are surprised at that news.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where you're like, I know, dude, like, trust me. More than
I'm
anyone,
aware.
I've heard the policy day one, and I've always been like, what the fuck? Unfortunately, I don't make these policies.
Unfortunately.
And some people would be like, yeah, okay, that's just super weird. Or a lot of people would be like, okay, then I'm not going to cancel the phone. And they're like, okay, it'll eventually like go into collections. They're like, they're dead. And I'm like, I know.
But it'll go into collections. Yeah.
And they're like, all right, good luck collecting money from a dead man. I'm like, I agree with you. Have as good of a day as you can.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, and it's like, that's the thing. People think that, like, I think people it's like, I'm always very aware that, like, I am doing a job when I'm at a job, you know?
Right.
And that sometimes other people are also just doing their job. They're not trying to make my life harder.
Yeah, I
They're
think
not
that's 90% of the time.
Right. People aren't trying to make my life harder on purpose. They're just doing what they can do, you know?
Because I hate that, because it's like, think about, what do you think I want to happen here? We just do the thing, and then it's done, and there's no interaction really. We're just over it. Or I have to give you bad news about it, and you're probably going to get angry. Like, you think I'm doing this on purpose?
Like, you think I want to, like, have a confrontation in public?
Yeah. Or just give you bad news? Like, that's what I get.
Like, that's I wook
up
up and I was like, I can't wait to go
me
get paid to give you bad news.
Huge boner standing behind the counter giving you bad news.
This sexy beefcake behind the counter with a big old cock that clearly just loves giving me bad news.
Could you imagine if you went somewhere and they're like, oh yeah, unfortunately the printer machinery is down, and then they're like, God damn it, it's always like this with you fucking people. Some big fucking beefcake with a huge, gorgeous, glistening hog behind the counter, and the printer is down. Is it because you stuck your big, beautiful, juicy cock in it? What is it with you people? Every fucking time I got to get a banner. This guy with this handsome, delectable,
this just beautiful body that I would just, this supple body, which I would just love to kiss from.
I want to crack an egg on every part of it.
God, I just want to kiss him from lips to chest to navel to dick to balls and nuts.
Dick to balls to nuts, because my ball is my right one, which is inside of it.
And
my
the nuts is
the
the pear.
Yeah, that's true.
The ball is one, the nuts is the pear.
Suck it out, baby.
Suck out the poison, if you know what I mean. I got bit by a snake, a bad one.
That's my penis. My penis bit my
penis
balls.
Is
They're having an argument.
My penis is my balls. You need to suck the snake out of the poison. I mean, suck the poison out of the snake.
I have another story I want to. Okay, so the bird thing. Like,
well, that's what I was gonna say. Is this lady comes in and she's like really distraught and like going to make a thing. So I'm approaching this with the same, I don't know if you want to call it like sensitivity I would have with somebody's dead, you know. I'm just like
trying
to
like,
be,
what's up, bitch tits?
I'm like, what's up, bitch tits? You going through some sadness? I got a cure for you right here. And then I shake my nuts at her, not just the ball. Shake the nuts at her. Shake one nut at somebody. That shake one nut. That's sending a message.
I'd rather have a dead
one ball.
Member.
That's a yeah. What would you rather have? A man shake a ball at you threateningly, or a dead family member?
An employee also.
Oh yeah.
They went to a location and the employee for no reason.
Looks like SpongeBob shoving his hands down his tiny whities.
Yeah. Oh, no. Now he's bringing in cartoon characters that are beloved and recently deceased.
SpongeBob died?
Not SpongeBob.
Patrick?
Yeah.
Oh. Gary the snail died?
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Someone took his
fuck.
shell off and he couldn't find it.
Yeah, someone took his shell off and salted him on accident. A fucking nightmare.
SpongeBob got drunk and salted Gary.
Holy shit.
Not salted.
Salted, like with salt.
Spread the word. Dapper Dad fans.
Dapper Dad fans, Gary salted by SpongeBob. In Borat 2. But and so like I'm being very sensitive. I'm like, okay, well, we'll load up the pictures and just whatever pictures you feel comfortable, pulling up, we can have them made into whatever you need. She's like, well, I think I need it made into like a poster. And I'm like, okay, like what we do like this size and this size. She's like, no, like missing posters. And I'm like, okay, what's it for? And it's like, and then the pictures pull up and it's all these pictures, like 1,000 pictures of this parrot. And she's like, oh, which ones do you think are best? And I'm like,
and it's like parrot headshots. It's got like a fun wig on, a hat. It's got a serious, a funny, a sad.
I'm like, wow, this parrot has a range of emotions that I didn't know birds could have.
Well, what does he look like most?
I mean, like what kind of
looks like the wig one?
What kind of mood would you say he's in most of the time?
If he was to put yourself in his little tiny feet, if he was to be lost, what do you think he'd look like? She's like gold chain, fake hair, tears. Oh, okay.
Bird hoe on his other wing.
Yeah, so he seems
two different bird hoes that look like they're from the wrong side of the tracks.
Okay, so he seems to be doing great. Are you sure you want to find him? Maybe.
Yeah, he seems like he found himself just fine.
If you love something, you have to let it go. If it comes back to you, set it on fire.
Yeah, duh. Make like a tree and fuck off. But no, so it ended up just being a missing poster she needed to make for this bird, and like the kids were like very distraught while we're sitting there looking because like it's like their bird, and she's like, she's like, we live right across the street. Can we leave one of these here to hang up? And so for like a month, there was like
and then they walk away.
Yeah, I did.
Oh
my god! And throw it at the back of the kid's head, and then I'm like,
your parrot's fucking dead.
Your parrot's dead.
My parents are dead. Oh fuck! Then you gotta kill the mom in front of them.
Oh, that sucks.
Maybe you should learn to listen, little man.
I was gonna say the parrot's dead. I just pull it out on like a skewer, and I'm like,
yeah.
Still got the head and everything on it. Somehow the feathers
this will happen to everyone you love. He's like, they'll be spit roasted. And you're like, fuck, this kid is really signing me up.
This kid's really making me.
Tell him no, but
this kid's making me commit.
Yeah, but like, isn't if a bird gets out, isn't it just home?
I mean, I think it depends on the bird first of all, because I feel like if like it's a tropical bird, it's not home and it's not going to.
Flying.
I feel like it's not going to survive.
They know where to fly.
See, that's the thing. Because most of the times when people have a bird in the house like that, they clipped its wings, so it can't fly.
So it just hopped out.
That's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying. I don't know about this particular bird that went missing. I don't know if it hopped out or it jumped out, but
jumped out the window and I ran from the cops.
Jesus. I can't say that particular bird was on like the run from the cops or anything like that, but I didn't ask if its wings were clipped, but at the same time, it's like, you make a good point. Would it just fly south?
I feel like,
or like, would it just hang around the area and then like somebody's jogging and there's just a giant macaw outside and you're just like,
I feel like if it has to get warm and
I gotta quit drinking,
cold, it would figure it out. But my thing
like,
is,
would it do its instincts kick in at some point, or if it's just bird feet hopping around? Is it just bird feet just hopping around, or just a really sad, weird bird?
I feel like someone it's either dead or someone like got that, because if it can't fly, you can just grab it,
right?
And like it feels like it can't get out. Like if my dog gets out, she can run,
right?
Yeah,
fast. Like the dog just goes.
Like you're like, Jesus Christ.
I'll never forget. I knew our dog as a kid was getting old because he got out and I caught him in the yard, like as he was running away, because it was like a hill.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget. There was a genuine look of surprise on his face when I caught him, because he was so used to because this dog would get out and he was a son of a bitch. He would just go and go and go. Like he would just start. Yeah. And I'd have to get on my bike and chase him. And then when he's done, I'd have to carry him on my back. Son of a bitch. I loved that dog. He was the best dog that ever lived. There'll never be a dog better than that dog. But he I remember he like got, because he would always do this thing where like the door would be kind of open and like we would look at each other, because he would be like, have that look like, I'm gonna run, and like I'm don't even fucking do it, and then like as I start walking, like getting towards him very slowly, and then he would just bolt into the yard. And I remember he was running up the hill, and you could see it in like, it just, his old man bones weren't getting it anymore, but the drive was there.
Just like you.
Just like me. Now, currently trying to get up and take a clear piss. And they're murky, folks. I think a ball blew up inside of me.
No, they were stapled.
www.patreon.com/dapperdad/wipe and find some staples.
Find out what really happened to Slim's balls.
Find out the truth.
Subscriptions go through the
This month on X-File. This month on History's Mysteries. What happened to Slim's nuts?
I thought you were implying that that it's xfiles.com/dapperdads or something.
Yeah,
This idiot doesn't know what Patreon is anymore.
Mulder and Scully have a file case on us that we don't like to talk about.
I'm trying to get that Scully, if you know what I mean.
Trying to get that David Duchovny, if you know what I mean.
Trying to get that he has a sex addiction. Watch the show Californication.
It's really funny, apparently.
There's so many boobs in it.
I tried to watch Hulu. I tried to watch some shows on Hulu the other night, and it said too many people are watching on screens at once. And I thought, all you motherfuckers, I'm the one paying for this, and I can't even watch it.
I hope it was the night where mine wasn't working, because I had unplugged my router and modem to try to fix it, because I thought that was the problem, and then it doesn't have like the case around it,
right?
Socket.
Yeah.
So I was able to plug the two prongs into one of the holes and the wall, if you know what I mean. So I didn't plug it in. I'm like, and I was in a bad mood, and it was one of those things where you're like, and now the fucking TV isn't working. I made my dinner for this, and so I'm just sitting there reading the Hulu error message and trying it over, and I'm just like, I'm gonna kill somebody. This fucking sucks.
Yeah, I don't know what night it was, but it was like, I remember it was a couple nights ago, and I was just like, I've been watching too much YouTube, nothing on Netflix. Let's see what's over here. And because it lets you go all the way to the point where you can select the episode of a show. Because it lets you go to your profile and then search through your profile and then find what you're looking for. And then you can press play. And then it goes, oops, looks like too many people are watching right now. Have someone log off a screen or check your logged in devices. And there was a piece of me that was like, you fucking cunts, I'm going to go into all the logged in devices and just log everything out.
Yeah, that's crazy, because the other night I was watching it on my phone, my iPad, my computer, and 3 TVs.
Huh.
Different stuff, though. Just shaking it up, jumping from room to room.
Same channel, different profiles, just everyone's profile that's on there.
Yeah.
Randomly selecting profiles, messing up watch queues that aren't your own.
Creating new profiles. But they have the same name as your profile.
I think I really got to change that password now.
I'll always figure it out.
It's just the same thing, just with a different caricature on the end.
Yeah, I'm like, I'll figure this out. I'm really good at
this son of a bitch, he's got 2 passwords.
The other story I was thinking of for some reason, I just read this thing, and I think it was on Reddit or something. This lady was talking about how she's married, and her husband has a fun trick he can do. I hate when you do that, because I assume I'm going to die.
It was just the wind picked up.
Oh, yeah, it's supposed to be real crazy out today.
I just saw some shit blow by, and I was like,
shit?
Because you can see like that. There's like that.
Just shit.
There's like, I don't know if that's like a TV satellite. I don't know what that giant antenna is. Yeah, I have no answers.
I climbed it.
I don't know what it is, but like
I have powers.
I'll see it rock back and forth, and I'm like, something bad is happening.
There's not much time left in the satellite.
I remember
cancer over all the houses in a mile radius.
Oh, 5G tower.
That's what they say about water towers, and I'm always like, how do water towers cause cancer?
It's all the water.
I have cancer.
Yeah, you have cancer now because you thought about all the water.
You go to a doctor, and they're like, yeah, you have cancer because you lived under a water tower, you idiot. I mean, if you live directly under the water tower, there's a lot of problems.
I feel like there's a lot of bad things that could happen for, like, 'cause I remember in the town I grew up in, the nuke plant, there was a guy I knew.
RIP.
There was a guy I knew who lived like very close to it, like insanely close to it. Like it was in his backyard close to it. And
that could be good.
It was terrifying because like I remember I was over at his house one time to go like get something for, it's a long story, but I was over there and it's like you can just see the tower, like it's basically right next to his house, and like you're just staring up at it, like it's,
and then it makes you queasy
because you're like, it's so big and it's so tall. I'm like, this doesn't bother you ever? And he's like, and it's like, I guess the property is so like super nice houses, super cheap property because like it's right there.
I love waking up, yawning in my pajamas, opening the blinds, and it's just
dude's got like a 3-story house with a 4-car garage and all this other shit, and it's like, but yeah, it's like right next.
Yeah, but I feel like if I went to a house like that, I'd be like, this is a nice house, but I could never get over the fact that you live immediately behind.
That's the thing. It's like you're just so close to the damn tower. You're like, wow, That is huge. And that's like, because I feel like you're just out there like, because like,
And,
imagine
like-
if there was like a beer darts tournament out there, you'd just be looking at the goddamn tower the whole time.
I know,
like,
and I
you
throw the
wouldn't-
dart, and it pierces the tower, and then radiation leaks.
just starts
everywhere,
leaking
and
out,
we
and you're like, this is
become
probably the
zombies.
least safe way to produce energy I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah, and with that, I would think that there would be repercussions from living directly behind it. You know what I
Right,
mean?
yeah.
I'm sure you can show me all the stats you want, and I understand, but I would be like, no, my kids are gonna be dead or very
Or
powerful.
they're either going to be dead or they're going to be 6'9".
I hope that they're both powerful, but one becomes evil.
One is like an evil powerful, and one's like a good powerful, and then they have to fight to.
Because I'll love my kids no matter what. Whoever wins.
One of those dads?
Whoever wins, not both of them.
Right? Yeah. Just.
Just because they're born with powers.
I love
If they were
whoever the
born
winner
normal,
is.
Then I wouldn't make them fight to death, probably.
But would you love them both if they were born normal?
I mean, as much as you can.
I mean,
Which
yeah,
isn't
as much
that
as you can love
from what I
normal kids,
understand
like
as being a kid.
from what I understand, you can't really love kids. It makes them too cocky.
Not as a man.
No, it makes them too cocky.
That's what the mom's there for. And cooking, am I right?
But
But yeah, I was reading this story. This lady's married, and her husband has a neat trick where he can suck his own dick. It's a fun novelty that we're all aware of. Most of us can do
most
it.
of us have tried.
It's not a problem. And yeah, maybe once you're healthy, give it another go.
I was
You know what
thinking I
mean?
could maybe try a go at having a woman do it.
You're going to make a woman suck her own dick? I'd love to see it. I mean, I don't want to intrude. I know it's going to be real anxiety-inducing for you to show your shattered penis to anyone in the future.
I like how you keep assuming that my penis is shattered. That's what really hurts.
I know what happened.
I
Dick
mean,
blew up.
it's not blown
Dick
up.
blew up and got stapled back together.
Yeah, blew up, you might say. One of those things where I fell on it wrong and I bruised it and it got so full
Yeah,
of
it's
blood because
bent.
it was so hard and everything.
I'm going to have to request that you stop looking out the window. It's
Just,
freaking
I'm
me
really
out.
sorry. I'm not trying
I
to.
just picture it's going
Well, I
to
mean,
be
it's
like
also
a
the
horror movie
angle
where
I'm
you're
at.
like,
Well, I mean, it's
there's
also
just a
the.
guy pressing
Well, it's also the
against
angle I'm at where I have to talk into this thing, so I'm not just like facing straight ahead and not seeing you. This feels weird looking out of my peripherals at you like
I hate
this.
having to look over. I hate this setup more than you can
Look,
imagine.
if I could go downstairs,
You know,
I would.
Go down on yourself. Anyway,
Anyway.
as I was saying. So this
Yeah,
guy
that ain't happening
this
right
guy
now.
can suck his own dick.
Penis too shattered.
And it's like one of the things, like apparently they're a pretty adventurous sexual couple when they first got together. And he was just like, I want to show you something. And then sucked his own dick in front of her, which is crazy. Side note, if say you can suck your own dick, you meet a nice lady, do you ever let her know?
Like, do we get married at some point?
Yes.
Like,
it's the love of your
this is
life.
like
You-
the one.
You believe you can tell her anything. No judgment besides like that obvious level of judgment that
Yeah, that
exists
everyone
even when
has.
people are like, no judgment. You say it and they're like, oh, well, I didn't know. You were
Well, I
gonna
didn't
say
know you were
that.
gonna be.
You're like,
I didn't know
"Right,
you were that
literally-
fucked up, you
you
piece
said
of shit,
no
and I can never
judgment.
look at you the
Thought I could
same. And you're
suck
like,
my own
oh,
dick."
okay. I mean, it depends, I guess. You know, I feel like if I was gonna marry somebody, it would be because I have enough confidence and
I
faith
think
in
if I was
them.
going to marry someone, it'd be because I can suck my own dick.
I was.
Because once you get married, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't happen.
It just stops, you know. The sex stops because marriage changes everything. You know, the old ball and chain.
Say
you know,
goodbye to dick sucks.
sex is for procreation at this point. Let me tell you, if you're not making babies, it ain't happening.
You're
If
not
she's
making
not,
babies, you're not making whoopee.
if she's not ovulating, she's not happy. Let me tell you,
But yeah, so like,
you're making whoopee.
so if you were getting married, you would let them know.
I mean, like,
At some point
like
in your-
before the marriage, before the marriage or after the marriage.
It doesn't matter. Just
'Cause
would you ever tell them?
Yeah, I feel like at some point probably because I feel like you're with somebody
But do
for
you
like
think-
40 years. Just at some point.
But do you-
at some point it's gonna come up.
Do
You know.
you think it's weird to wait longer? Like, say you're together 12 years, and then you're like, oh, I never told you I can suck my own dick.
I mean,
I feel like that's crazy.
I don't
I don't know
think
when
I don't
the
think there's a
perfect
good.
time
Yeah, there's not a good. There isn't one. That's
I
the
feel
thing.
like earlier
I
in
feel
the
like it's-
relationship, but not like first date. Like, hi, my
yeah,
name's
never first date.
Drama, legally.
Legally.
and I
Drama,
can suck my own
McDramerson.
dick. My name's Drama. I do a podcast. I love drinking. I like music.
I like
smoke
to party.
cigarettes.
I like-
suck my own dick. I used to
What was that last
skate.
one?
I like horror movies and Nikes is what I've been told.
I used to skate.
I suck my own dick.
I'm a
They don't
professional
even ask
rapper.
again. I just keep saying I suck my own dick. They're like, okay, we get it. I
I
can.
suck my
I mean,
own
I don't
dick.
mean. Yeah,
I don't like
can.
to. It's something.
I
That's
don't-
something I do all the time.
That is crazy how you're like two phrases. I can suck my own dick and I suck my own dick.
Yeah.
Are vastly different.
They paint
The
two
first one
very
you're like,
different
really?
people.
And the second one you're like, get away from me.
First guy, you're like, that could be like a frat guy. Second guy, you're like, oh, this guy has a ponytail and he's a little weird.
Yeah, you figured it out with that horny yoga.
That horny. I mean, I feel like if I like have enough confidence in somebody that I'm with that I'm going to marry them, I feel like something like that would just come up because I feel like knowing me, like it's the kind of thing that would be joked about or like talked about or like brought up in a conversation. I'd be like, well, I tried one time and I kind of, it came in my own mouth and it wasn't really for me.
Yeah, that's the thing is that it's like crazy. It's like forbidden knowledge to have because I feel like if I was
if I could do it, you don't tell people that you did it, you know?
Well, yeah, and if I was the female in this situation, if my dreams came true and I got to marry you and you could suck your own dick, the ideal scenario of my life. If I found that information out, it would be hard for me to not constantly assume that you're sucking your own dick.
Right, because it's one of those forbidden things where you're like,
sucking his own.
It's one of those things where it's like it's forbidden, but it's like
re-enrolling into college just to suck his own dick.
I bet if it's one of those things where if you could do it, I feel like I'm doing it all the time.
From sucking his own dick.
Can you imagine if that's how it actually happened? I'm like, a longboarding accident, but instead I just bent a
Yeah, it just feels like one of the.
I'm like, if I could just move my leg one more inch, and then just pop.
Oh my god! I wonder how many injuries have.
I'm sitting there trying to talk to all the beautiful nurses that were at the hospital during my stay, and they're just like, "How did this happen?" And I'm like, "Longboarding accident."
Yeah, because that's really cool. Also, you should have said like knife fight.
Oh, I should have said I was fucking so goddamn hard that I shattered my pelvis. I was fucking
so pleasurable for women.
I was fucking.
I'm in there with him like, no. He was fucking so pleasurably for women.
He was fucking so good that he wasn't even enjoying it. It was all about her pleasure. That's how we shattered his pelvis because she kept saying she wanted. Her spirit transcended from the absolute dick doinking he gave her.
How else can you say it?
I will not marry a woman unless she tells me that her spirit has transcended from the dick doinking I've given her.
I mean, you'd love to hear it.
You would love to hear it just once in your lifetime, you know? Even if from the ex that I hate the most.
You pull your ring out and you're like, yeah, I love, I've never, that's the one thing I feel like I am proud of is I have women that I believe hate me, as we all are prone to.
As we all tend to have.
And they'll still be like, they fucked really good. That's how I've been able to sustain myself, baby. Let me crash on your couch. Because I'm good at sex sometimes. Unless I've been drinking, I've always been drinking.
I'm always drinking and I'm always horny. I like it. I like it to fuck.
I like it to fuck.
I like it to fuck. I like it to kiss. Man, do I love kissing. I haven't gotten a good kiss in a while. Let me put my fingers in your mouth.
Back to the story. No, they're gross.
Yours
Mine
are
totally fine as I touch the bottom of my shoe. And I'm like, yeah, why are my fingers are salty? Like a gym floor?
Jesus Christ. I'm picturing you as a kid just on the floor of the gym.
Lick
a gym floor? No.
Not lick the gym floor, but lick your hands after you touch the gym floor. It went around my school. It was popping. Probably doesn't get to happen.
I was going to say, I don't think
elementary school, did you have those little boards? Those little, foot-by-foot boards with wheels on the bottom, and
that you would run your fucking fingers over and break them and shatter them into a million fucking pieces.
But it was worth it because riding
you got
was
to
the
wheel
best.
around it. Wee.
Fuck my fingers, let me ride this.
Fuck my fingers, let me go 2 miles an hour on this fucking little board that I'm too big to ride it. Second grade.
We would push around, and then some weird kid is like, "Fingers taste like salt after you touch the gym floor," and then it catches on, and then everybody's. Was it you
just touching the gym floor?
I don't think I started.
You started this because I don't think kids just do this.
But I will be like first in line when people are skeptical. I'll be like, "I'll lick the shit out of my hands."
I'll lick the shit out. I'll go crawl around on your gym floor and lick it.
The gym teachers had to put a stop to. It really got popping.
They had to pull you kids aside and be like, "Stop licking the fucking floor."
Yeah, see, we need to pay our teachers.
Yeah, but they're putting up a show like this because they're dealing with kids being like, "Lick your fingers
over online learning."
You're like, "Lick your fingers off the floor. It's fine." You're like, "Son of a bitch."
Yeah, now it's just like unplug your computer. You're done.
Yeah. No, it's like time to turn off the Zoom teaching. You have to go back to watching SpongeBob while I smoke crack in the background.
I mean, that's how my school was. But yeah,
we were on the streets licking gym floors while the gym teacher smoked crack. We had to lick the crack off the gym floor.
It's one of those
to get enough crack to run the 12-minute mile.
It's one of those things where you're like, I know what I equate this to in my head is wrong. But yeah, when my fingers are salty, I'm like, elementary school gym floors. Which, why would the floors be so salty? Can you tell me that, Sherlock fucker? You fuck Sherlock. You're not even Sherlock.
This interview's over.
Boy.
I'm Watson.
No, Watson was great.
Watson was his
Watson
fuck
and Sherlock
boy.
didn't fuck.
Yeah, they did.
No.
They had to have.
Sherlock made Watson watch.
He's like,
him
oh,
fuck people.
He's like, oh,
Sherlock
I've got
made
a.
Watson
He's like, oh,
watch
I've got a
people.
hunch, and he starts fucking Watson in the
No,
ass.
they don't fuck.
They
He makes
fuck.
them watch, and Watson doesn't speak. He wears a monocle.
What?
And at the end, his eyes perk up, and the monocle falls into a
Because
champagne
he's
glass and
realized
breaks.
the thing that Sherlock has realized.
Yeah, which is the solving.
My dear Watson, I believe it's elementary that you come in the girl's mouth. He just face fucks the shit out of this bitch.
I was thinking it would be a guy, but not Watson.
Sherlock's gay.
Yeah, you just said with ease that he fucked Watson. So
That
we
he
both
could
knew
be
he was
bi.
gay.
He could be bi.
I mean, everybody can be bi.
We're
Just a
both.
little bit.
Oh, little bi. Don't touch
No,
me.
we
You've been
can't.
licking your
You won't let me
fingers.
hug you, touch you, kiss you. Fuck
I
you,
won't.
rub
Yeah,
you.
I know. I'm very. I have an intimacy problem in this marriage.
Your neck, your back, your shattered pelvis.
My neck, my back, my shattered pelvis, my exploded penis. I won't let you touch a thing.
Staple, staple, staple.
I get love pulling out staples when I wipe.
So, so this story, this woman's married to a guy who can suck his own dick. She's seen it early on. Like, he told her, and she was like, I don't believe you. So he did it, and she was like, I believe you now. And he said that he doesn't, like, finish in his mouth. He never has. He's just done it, which, of course, he has. It's a
Yeah,
lie.
we
It's
all
fine.
we all come.
We've all
We're all
tasted cum.
coming in mouth. Because at that very moment, you're like, do I tell her as you're sucking your own dick? Sucking your own dick, and you're like, oh, do I tell her I'm gonna go? Oh, it just feels so fucking good. And then you just keep going, and you come in your own mouth, and you're like, play, you fucking bitch.
So she's seen it, is aware of it, and occasionally throughout their relationship, she has had him show people. Like
Show
a friend.
people?
Yeah. So it
I'm
same
not
type
about
of
that,
thing,
nope.
Same type of thing. It comes up. People are like, whatever. He's like, I can do it. They're like, prove it as a joke, and then she's like, you actually can. Some shit like that where like other people have seen it from time to time. He doesn't really like doing it anymore.
Yeah, I would. I feel like if I was gonna tell my spouse or like my partner,
I wouldn't want her to bring it up publicly.
yeah, like I
and
would.
make
I
you
would
do it
want
for
that to
people.
be some. Yeah, that'd be something I would want shared
honey, suck
in
your dick.
privacy. In like privacy.
Honey, hey, they want to see you suck your own dick.
Like
Come
I'm
on, you
aware
can
that they
it.
do, but I feel like my wife should be
Come
respecting
on.
me enough.
She's had too many glasses of wine.
Yeah, she's like really
pulling
angry.
it out of your pants.
Yeah, she's pulling your dick up, but you're having a bad dick day because you're nervous because like you don't know her fucking friends and you don't fuck with her
And now
friends
they're
like
expecting
that.
to see you suck.
You
your
don't
own
fuck
dick.
with her friends like that, and even though it's her one friend that you've kind of thought like you've had a couple of drinks and been like, if it doesn't work out between us, maybe I could try to go for her if she wasn't with him, but it's so far away. And then she's watching you suck your own dick, and you're like, she's never gonna fuck me now because she's just watching me suck my own dick.
So this guy, it's happened before where they've put it on display. He doesn't really like doing it anymore. Whatever. I can't remember all the details, but
Whatever. Homina.
There's a bachelorette party that the wife is invited to.
Okay.
And it's like a bunch of her friends getting married, bunch of friends, and then a couple women she does not know.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow they end up wherever he is. Somehow the husband is with the bachelorette party briefly in like maybe her house or something. Somehow he becomes involved. They're drunk, and she asks him to do it. Or like I think the bachelorette, she told the bachelorette, and the bachelorette's like, I'm the bachelorette, you gotta suck your own dick in front of me.
Okay.
So he does it, and it's like, I really don't like doing it, but I'll do a little show for the bachelorette. A real cool guy.
Yeah.
And he sucks his own
As
dick.
we all are.
And everyone's losing their shit like I think you would if you watched a man suck his own dick in front of you. I'm breaking shit. I'm screaming. I'm
Shaking
yelling.
your
I want to
friends.
die.
I would rather be dead.
I'm doing heroin
In your nutsack,
in my
traditionally.
nutsack, sucking my own.
Hell yeah,
heroin
you start.
filled
Oh
cum.
my god.
I don't know if that's on Patreon.
He starts
or not.
sucking
It's
his.
So hard to tell
Yeah, it's so
nowadays.
hard. No, that's for sure on Patreon.
Right. Well, Patreon. That comes
Such dapper dads. Do it.
But so this guy who's sucking his own dick works at like an IT place or something. Someone just started at his job. Can you guess where this is going?
Yeah, and someone's like, "Hey."
No, it's the girl who just started at his job is in the bachelorette party and watched her boss suck his own dick after just like starting working there, I think was the story. And he didn't see her like before he started sucking his own dick,
Right.
And then then they had to have like a conversation
An
at
inner
work. I think
office
he was
meeting.
like the owner of the company. And he was like, listen, if you want to quit, I understand. Like, I never would have done that. Like,
Yeah,
I know,
like
you
if
know what
I
mean?
thought.
Like, that wasn't why I was like, I'll suck my own dick. But like, imagine that, because I feel like there's a lot of scenarios where you could see like a similar type of wacky sexual event
Right, like
happen.
something crazy happens,
But like,
and it's
imagine you see your boss suck his own dick, and then you still got to go. Could you work with that person? Or are you always just like,
as a
you'll
woman,
never forget that. Yeah, as a woman, it's completely. I mean,
I would
you
say
can
as a
never-
man, like okay, because I'm thinking about my boss right now.
Yeah,
I'm thinking about
picture who you will.
if I watched him suck his
I
own
would
dick.
like you to picture Chops. I can't even remember what his voice was, but Chops chicken.
Chops.
No, now we're just right.
Yes, Chops. There it is.
Yeah, you always had it better.
Yeah.
Imagine him sucking
Oh
his own
shit,
dick.
go Chops the chicken. He lifts his chops.
Imagine him sucking his own dick out of those snow
That's
pants.
my. That's how I last.
He
Remember,
just has a hog.
like a baby's arm gripping an apple.
He simply just has to go.
Yeah, he can't even mouth. He can't even suck his own dick. He's just got to mouth the tip.
Yeah,
It's so fucking
He
big.
just rubs his tongue along it. Real nice though. Like he's really got it down.
I mean, I guess I'd be like, I could work with him, but like it'd be really hard to like take direction from him, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
like it'd be really.
It would be big blackmail for me. You know
Right,
what I
yeah,
mean?
that's
Like,
the thing, big blackmail, because I
it's
feel like
yeah, I vote some boxes, and I'm like, can you not
Yeah,
suck
you're-
your own dick in front of me?
yeah,
dude? I think
I'm gonna
be
need you to
unloading
work
the
Christmas
box.
morning. Yeah, I'm gonna need you to never suck your own dick in front of me
Yeah.
again. Do you remember when you did that?
You remember when you unwrapped that present of your dick and shoved it in your mouth?
I'm gonna need you to. I need you to work Christmas morning. Oh, I guess I could if I wasn't so goddamn traumatized from the fact
Yeah.
that I watched my
Like
boss
that's the only reason I would
suck his
around.
own fucking dick.
Because like there is never gonna be a moment in the future of me interacting with that person that I don't think of
Right? Yeah.
when they were sucking their own dick.
I mean,
You know
I
what mean?
could, but like it's gonna take a while. I'm thinking of my boss now, and like if I had to watch him suck his own dick, it would be difficult to be alone with him. I feel
Oh,
like
yeah.
just in like
For sure.
because it's one of those things like there's not a ton of people where I work, so like it's not like where we worked where like I could escape to another side of the building and be okay.
Find someone who doesn't suck their own
Like
dick.
yeah, transfer to another department and be okay. Like I gotta work with everybody at my job constantly all the time. So like if like me and him were like unloading the truck together and I'm just like I feel like I couldn't like even look him in the eyes.
That's
while
what
I'm
I
like,
mean.
I'm like here this goes over in the baby stuff. Can you go put this in the baby stuff?
There's never gonna be a time where I don't. Like,
And like yeah, and it's like I know I should like act better and more appropriate in front of him because like it's in front of everybody else and nobody else
Right.
can know but like
but nobody else had to see what I had to
Yeah, no one else had to go through what I had to go through and it's difficult and it's hard to deal with.
I feel like I would have a lot of questions that I would need answered.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, when did you figure out you can do this?
Right.
I feel like
yeah.
it might have been in the story.
I feel like there'd have to be a conversation between men at the very least, but like it still wouldn't
Yeah.
change how I treat. Like I would still be like standoffish unless I had to be around him.
Yeah, because I'd read a thing before, I don't know where, but it's people who can do it say it's like more about flexibility than having a big old dick.
Right. Yeah.
Big old dick obviously helps everything.
Right. A big old dick makes your life better. It makes you more popular, more handsome, more desirable to women.
Let's just say a big old dick really greases the wheels.
Big old
Not
dick makes you-
literally. It gets caught in your bike tire and you flip over.
And then
your
you
dick's
rip
stuck.
part of your dick.
I think that was
off.
just in the Eric Andre show, actually. But yeah, it's more about flexibility, which makes me feel like if I just dedicate a little bit, maybe once the podcast is done, I guess free time on my hands, I'm not so caught up and stressed with all this stupid shit that we do for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
I might take the time to suck my own dick.
If you do, I have to be the first person you tell.
Yeah, traditionally.
Yeah.
That's what I tell.
And then we never can sit in the front seats again of a car ever again.
Yeah, you can sit in the back seat. That's fine, just not the front seat.
Just
Because
behind
that,
you
of
holding-
course, is where I sucked my own dick. I'm like, I can only do it in the car. I get my head
How
stuck
come?
under the.
How come Slim
under
looks
the-
terrified every time he's in a car with drama?
I don't know. It's probably sad that the podcast is over. I also said at the beginning of the.
I'm like this close to your car seat, just staring at the back of your head.
I'm just looking in the mirror at you. And I'm still sucking my own dick.
Yeah, you're still trying to suck your own dick while you're driving in 5 p.m. Chicago traffic.
It's stop and start. I don't even need to look.
Right.
You know
I
what
mean, I can just tell you
Tap the
when
brake,
to go.
tap the gas. Eventually, your knee will hurt so bad.
Tap the head, tap the gas, tap the head, tap the gas, tap the head,
Yeah.
tap the gas.
No, I have my head stuck under my steering wheel. I'm sucking my own dick. We get pulled over, and I'm like, help me, I'm stuck. They're like, what? You're like, I'm sorry, his dick's in his mouth, officer.
The officer opens the door. You waddle along like some crazy thing. You're just walking around.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Cop just starts shooting at you. Misses every time, though. Fires a full round of bullets. Doesn't even hit you once. Hits me 9 times.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah,
all right, 50 cents.
Shoots himself at the end.
Yeah. And I'm like, what's the big deal, guys?
Cop
Just me sucking my own dick like a crab or whatever you're picturing. Exorcist down the
But
stairs.
yeah, moving around comically fast. Like, guys, help. I can't stop sucking my own dick.
I've got my dick in my mouth.
He started
can
yapping
only-
and I told the bitch to...
And I can only walk normal when I come in my mouth.
Make that...
Standing straight up.
Yeah, the cum just shoots you straight back up. Whoa.
That was a good one.
Because your body inherently tells yourself, do not come in your own mouth. Do not grease the wheels with your...
You'll flip over the handlebars
You'll
if you know what I
flip
mean.
over the handlebars if you know what I mean.
You'll flip for this one trick, coming in your own mouth.
Basically, this son of a bitch is coming in his own mouth and you're fucking stupid. How? Click here to find out.
You're like, why are these getting so targeted?
Small dick not getting caught in bike tire spokes?
I want to make that it.
Are you jerking off? Go to jerkmate.com where you can watch this girl's Snapchat filter turn her face into a horse as she's coming. Have you seen this ad?
I haven't seen the ad, but I've seen 2 different porno films where they use the
Snapchat filters?
Snapchat filter. But then it fucks with the voice.
It does fuck with the voice. I don't want to hear like some...
Fuck my ear.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that at
Come
all.
on, dude.
Come on, dude.
Watching
Yeah, I
SpongeBob.
you know what I love talking to the girl that can't hear me because this is
Come on,
clearly
dude.
yeah, talking with the familiarity of a
You
good
search,
friend.
Come on, dudes.
Come on, dude. So you've searched for come on dudes and you're like, "Oh, actually,
What did I search for? Oh my God, what
meaty
was
hog on bear.
it? Yeah.
Meaty hog on bear cub."
No, it was something to make the last episode artwork. Like I've said,
The
seen
making
it.
a murderer.
No, that was just pretty
Fucking a
simple.
murderer?
Yeah, that. What was it though? And I've said it before. I've seen a lot of things on the internet, but I'm always shocked at how many times I'm searching for something to make the episode artwork
Right,
that leads
yeah.
to like something where you're like, what
Something
the
absolutely
fuck?
fucking crazy.
What was it? I know I put horny on there. It was something, but I feel like it was a word where it wasn't what I was. What was it? God damn it! I feel like it's on the tip of my tongue. It's something where I was like, I know that the results are going to be porn, essentially. 'Cause
Right,
you type
yeah,
in
like,
some
that's
words
all
and
you
you're
can
like,
find.
Of course. But then it was like a lot of dudes sucking dudes' dicks, and it was like because it popped up, and I was like, this isn't what I was looking for. I can't really use this in the artwork. But since I'm seeing dicks being sucked, I'll a couple scrolls at least when in Rome.
See what
you know
happens,
I mean?
yeah.
Because like sometimes you see crazy hot shit in like a Google image search that
And
you're like,
"Oh,
I don't know how to find this any other way.
How come I don't find this in my normal time?"
Because yeah, like I said, I'm typing in weird specific words, and then yeah, there was like I scrolled like 2 times down, and then it was just dudes sucking dudes' dicks like aggressively, and then I'm
Just
always
male on male action.
because sometimes you don't notice at first, and you're like squinting. I've got my bifocals on, and I go from bi to focal, and I'm like, that's a guy sucking a guy's dick. That is unpleasant, but not as bad as you would think in your head. Then you're like, am I a little gay? And then you start watching the films. You start buying the magazines. You're on Grindr just to hang out, feel things out. And then he kind of pressures you because men suck, and you're like, I guess I can suck my own dick in front of you. That's what my Grindr profile says.
It's just you looking real
username.
sad, and it says, "I guess I can suck my own dick in front of you."
Just looking down, pouty. You know, I know what the men like. Little pouty, gay bitch. That's me. No offense
Little-
to gay bitches.
That's his username actually. Just look up little pouty gay bitch.
Little pouty gay bitch. Follow me. I'll show up if I'm in your area. That's what it is with Grindr, right?
Yeah,
Well, that's crazy. Like, I don't love the idea of like. I just watched this
of horny
documentary
little
about.
sad little gay boys in my area.
Yeah, I watched this documentary about like dating app
Killers.
relationships gone wrong. I thought it was going to be like kind of crazy stories, and then it was just rapists, and it was very unpleasant. And then one of those things where you're like, this isn't. I watched some sad things, but now I'm just like, this is just fucked up. But yeah, I thought it was, and then I was thinking about Grindr because I'm like, yeah, that shit will be like, little pouty gay bitch is 2 blocks away, and he's looking for dick. And that's fucking crazy.
I'm on milfhunter.com, and all it's pulling up is a bunch of men that have signed up for the app for some reason.
Yeah, I hate MILF Hunter because then I show up with my bow and arrow, and it's a whole problem.
I've got the ghillie suit on, and they're like,
Yeah.
"This is not what we were advertising." I'm like, "Well, then why
Really?
do you have
you ever played Big Buck Hunter?
I'm like, "Yeah, then
at
why
a
do you
bar?
have like the scope in the logo if I'm
Yeah.
not supposed to be hunting?"
Yeah, I show up. I'm wearing bright orange.
The guy has to sit down and explain
Vest.
to you. He's like, "We're a pornography company. It's a play on words. We're
Wait, what?
hunting the milfs to fuck
What's
them."
the
You
play
see?
on words?
See, it's because we're going out.
Milf hunter?
See, we're going
What's
out.
the word?
We're not looking for milfs. You know, we're not hunting them, but it's like we're hunting for pussy. You know, you ever heard the term hunting for pussy?
No, I don't
Sad
know who
little
you
gay
hang
boy.
out with. Yeah, pouty,
Pouty little gay boy.
little gay bitch. Like,
Pouty little gay bitch. You ever heard of hunting for pussy? No. Why would you do that? Oh my god.
I like a
People do
hunter
that?
though. That camouflage really brings out your meaty cock.
Talk about hunter be hunted. Am I right?
Talk about cunter be cunted. Am I right? Which one of us is right? Folks, tell us. Go to
4027 Dapper.
That was my future impression.
Yeah,
Not
it's
the
good.
beginning. The end, right? None of that. What were we just saying? Oh yeah, one of us is right. Hunter be hunted or conter be conted.
Hunter be hunted, I
We'll
think
put a
is the
poll.
right
We'll
one.
put a poll up on the internet and see what.
Put it on
people
Twitter.
think.
Hunter be hunted or cunter be cunted.
I think that's a fun phrase. I was excited that it took 170 episodes to put a swear word in the title. Proud of us. We've
Good
showed
for
restraint.
us. I am proud of
Because
us.
it's right there. You think it would have been like episode 3, like conter be conted.
Is that what we're going to call this one? Cunter be
I don't know.
cunted?
That feels because
Either that or wiping out staples.
No, that was in the Patreon.
Oh.
That's what the Patreon will be called for sure. Yeah, because YouTube was not happy about the fucking a murderer thing. Because as I was doing it, I was like, can you put swear words in the title? Because I know a lot of times when I find something with a swear word in the title, it's censored. I think that's just the best course of action is to not put, because they send an email as soon as it uploaded.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, I mean, it doesn't help that it's fucking a murderer. But, I mean, we only have a couple left. I was like, we've never
We
done
got
this.
6 left. It'll be all right.
I love swear words. I want to put
We all
one in
love
there.
swears.
And I would. It says not to do it for the actual podcast audio title ever, and it didn't stop me. And YouTube technically didn't stop me. They were just like, no, people have to sign in to watch this. And you know, I love inconveniencing people just a little bit
Love a good little inconvenience.
because I have it all the time. If I'm like on, I guess my computer is the only thing that can maybe not be logged in, and then it's just like you have to log in to watch this music video, and you're like, are you fucking kidding me? And it feels like the worst thing that's ever happened to you. You're like, I have to type in my username and password to watch this video. I won't fucking do this. So then you don't, and then everyone's like, did you see the franchise video? And you're like, no. They're like, oh, it's fucking, he's in Michael Jordan's house. Probably not. And they're like, no, for sure.
No, it's a thing.
And he calls Young Thug Jeff, and that's just like that really shows that they came up together.
It's so personal.
Why didn't you watch it? I've been busy.
I've been busy being a pouty little Gabe.
I'm 2 blocks away from a dick at all times, apparently.
2 blocks away from a horny gay guy.
Yeah,
at
it's
all
like when you
times.
search for the sex offenders, not comparing gay people to sex offenders.
Not at all.
But the podcast just shuts down.
Holy shit.
But yeah, it's like when you look at sex offenders and you're like, oh, I wish I lived anywhere else, and then you widen it and you're like, I guess actually I wish none of these people were alive. Not me, I shouldn't be alive. But just gay people everywhere. Or you go on Grindr in your house and it says they're in the basement. This is the remake of
People under the stairs?
No, but that's coming soon. I hope there's some gay shit in it. But the phone, the baby, what's the
Oh,
phone?
the babysitter?
Yeah, is that what it's called?
I think so.
No.
I swear, I think it might be.
No. I mean, there is
But the call is coming from inside the house.
Yeah,
like, yeah,
that
I know.
story.
Yeah.
That's called something.
They say you eat 8 spiders a year and the gay erect guys are in the house.
Yeah, so that's our remake. Netflix, get at us. We're doing the calls coming from inside the house, but it's the gay is coming from the Grindr app.
Oh my god,
We're
the
gonna-
Grindr app
that's
says the pouty little gay bitch is right in your house.
Yeah, that's a working title. We know it's long and we want to
We'll work
as
on
well.
it.
But the idea is
It might just
idea
be
is
called
flawless.
the PLGB, just to shorten it out.
the what?
PLGB.
That sounds gay.
Yeah.
So, all right. Folks, coming.
LGBTQ, LBGTBQBTA.
It's just letters.
It's a LGBTQ sandwich is what it is.
Oh, God. All right.